You got a time limit. January 31st. Cool, gonna beat your bitch ass. Yeah, put that in there.
I don't know. It ain't like I said. Your boxing get better by the hour. Okay. Soon you'll be undefeated.
It ain't tight. The shit ain't tight. You can't get it tight. You putting the glove on. That shit ain't tight. You should be getting your hands wrapped by a master professional hand wrapper every single day, bruh. You getting paid gravy. You getting paid gravy, dude. If you can't fly a dude out that's great with the damn hand wraps, man, that's what you need. If you got hand problems, bruh, and you need to keep your hands healthy, you need to hire somebody, man. All that damn money you making, bruh, somebody. Tape it on some old ass wraps. What's going on? Come on. What we in elementary school? Come on, dog. Them hands need to be wrapped. You can't mess around and go into this fight with Tio. You can't. Every damn way, Shakur, I'm telling you. He gonna box your ass a little bit. He gonna pressure you. He gonna change speeds on your ass. I'm telling you, man. This dude is coming for your ass. You better be ready. But you don't need to be doing all that extra shit if it's gonna weaken you. If you ain't gonna be at your full potential, man. For real. You don't need to be doing all this extra shit. And get a hand wrap, dude.
So here's what happened. A boxing legend took one look at Shakur Stevenson and basically called him out, asking what on earth he thought he was doing. That's when you know things have gone sideways. But now with this massive showdown on the horizon, Stevenson has completely transformed his approach to preparation. He's grinding through the most demanding training sessions of his career, working on brand new strategies and making critical improvements. This isn't the same fighter we've seen before. He's determined to face Teofimo Lopez as a completely different beast. Every drill focuses on explosive power. Every session sharpens his technique, and the atmosphere around camp feels electric. This rebuilt version of Stevenson looks ready for absolute warfare.
So, and then you wait about 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, pop up, push through, and have a good fight. 3, press, 1, 2, 3, back flat, 4, rotate, press. Yes, sir. Left 3.
You know sick. Look at my neck, I got it.
The preparation has been next-level intense. Stevenson is going toe-to-toe with world-class professional fighters in sparring sessions that look more like actual fights. His hand speed is reaching frightening new heights, while his overall athleticism keeps climbing. His training team and elite sparring partners are all locked in on one mission. They know exactly what kind of storm is coming with Teofimo Lopez, but instead of backing down, they're doubling down on the work. Every single day brings more intensity as Stevenson pushes his limits even further.
Oh.
I'll have to drop the heavy up just a little.
The Shakur camp is absolutely buzzing with belief right now. They're convinced their champion has the tools to completely demolish Teofimo Lopez and make it look easy. Behind closed doors, serious questions are flying about whether Teofimo's record is even legitimate. The word is that he's been cherry-picking safe opponents instead of taking real risks. There's unshakable faith that Shakur will completely embarrass Teofimo when they finally meet. The confidence level has reached a breaking point. Warnings are being issued, and some pretty bold statements are getting thrown around about how Teofimo might be cracking under the mounting pressure. word is spreading that it's not just Teofimo either. Fighters like Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia are supposedly keeping their distance because they respect the devastating combination of power, accuracy, and technical ability that Shakur brings every time he steps through those ropes.
Tom, you got Tom in January 31st. Cool on, bitch ass. Yeah, put that in there.
Shadow box and get some sparring. Maybe about 8 to 10 rounds. And
everybody talking about Teo gonna win. Y'all all know that he gonna lose, bro. Shakur actually fight accurate people, like not bums. Like he fought Oscar Valdez. Tank pulled out the fight because he's scared. Ryan Garcia's scared. Like they all scared. Even Devin Haney. Shakur gonna stop him. This easy. That's so easy. Y'all already know the question. Shakur on top.
But Tim Bradley isn't buying any of that hype for a second. He thinks Shakur might be crossing the dangerous line from confidence into pure arrogance. Every time Stevenson talks about revolutionizing his training approach, Bradley points out, the actual fight performance stays exactly the same. Even bringing in Terrence Crawford as a training partner hasn't moved the needle like everyone expected. Bradley sees a pattern where Shakur consistently falls short when the pre-fight buzz around his preparation reaches its peak. He's questioning whether this so-called elite training camp is actually producing the results it needs to.
Hey, Shakur. Hey, I hope you doing what makes you tick. I hope you ain't doing all no extra shit. You don't need all that extra shit. You better be doing what makes you tick. I remember when you went to one of Crawford's camp and you did one of his trainings and you know, a full camp and stuff, man, and one of his training programs and shit, man, got in the fight, and you look like shit, man. You look like hell. That was that Nakatila fight, man. You were like, man, I done stuff I ain't never done before. All this stuff, man. You don't need all of that shit, man. You need to do what make you tick, man. I know this fight is big. I know you can add a little bit of something, but man, if you overworking yourself, man, and you ain't gonna be rested, man, if you ain't resting your hand.
Now Bradley is sounding the sirens about how Shakur Stevenson is approaching this whole thing wrong. He's calling out everything from the condition of Shakur's hands to the basic way his wraps are being applied. Those techniques aren't going to save him when the lights are brightest, Bradley argues. He's practically begging Shakur to get serious about this fight. The criticism gets pretty harsh as Bradley tears apart the entire camp setup, claiming Shakur desperately needs legitimate professional guidance in his corner. He goes as far as saying the whole operation looks more like amateur hour than a world championship preparation.
That's how you messing up your damn hands. You messing up your hands because it ain't tight. The shit ain't tight. You can't get it tight. You putting the glove on. That's tight. You should be getting your hands wrapped by a master professional hand wrapper every single day, bruh. You getting paid gravy. You getting paid gravy, dude. If you can't fly a dude out, that's great with the damn hand wraps, man. That's what you need. If you got hand problems, bruh, and you need to keep your healthy, you need to hire somebody, man. All that damn money you making, bruh, hire somebody. Tape it on some old wraps. What's going on? Come on. What we in elementary school?
According to Bradley, Shakur Stevenson better focus on keeping his hands healthy because the only path to victory against Teofimo Lopez runs through pure boxing skill. He reminds everyone that Teofimo always delivers on his promises, no matter how wild his trash talk gets outside the ring. Sure, the fans are rallying behind Shakur, but Bradley makes it crystal clear that popularity contests don't win fights. The way Stevenson is training right now simply won't cut it against someone who consistently shows up ready to back up every word.
That's not gonna be a damn excuse. Hell no. This is a dude, man, Teofimo Lopez, bro. He been going at us. Yeah. And when I say at us, yeah, straight to our face, saying monkeys and bananas and all this racist stuff, bruh. This your chance to shut his ass up, bruh. Yeah, that's what it is. It's your chance. So everybody ride with you, man. Shit, but this ain't gonna be no easy task. This dude here coming to bag up every single word he said. Every word he said. and you get in there and you play, and your hands ain't right, bruh, and you ain't in there being a little bit of Pookie with a little bit of Shakur, boy, you gonna have to bring everything out against this dude, Teofimo Lopez, because he coming for your ass in every single way.
After that brutal takedown of Shakur's preparation, the tension has reached a whole new level. Ben Whitaker jumped into the analysis, explaining how Teofimo Lopez actually fights better when people doubt him because that explosive mentality kicks into overdrive. Despite all that, though, he's still backing Shakur Stevenson to find a way to win. He points to the champion's proven track record, technical superiority, and surgical precision as the weapons that will ultimately decide this battle and lock up the victory.
I'm gonna go with my boy Shakur. I just think we'll just keep the distance, keep it clean, bite when he needs to, box when he needs to. But I do like Lopez. He's very athletic. He knows how to box, and I think when there's an occasion like this, he does rise to it. But I just think Shakur's been around the world as an amateur as well as a pro.
The boxing world is sending clear signals to Teofimo Lopez about what he's walking into. Facing Shakur Stevenson could brutally expose every single weakness in his game. Expert Greg Hackett recently dissected this matchup, and while he gives Teofimo credit for natural talent, he made it obvious that he's not operating on Shakur's level. Hackett highlighted Stevenson's methodical preparation style, technical perfection, and masterful ability to dictate fight rhythm as the exact tools needed to expose Teofimo's shortcomings. With fundamentals that's sharp and tactical planning that's smart, Stevenson looks completely prepared to dominate.
You see them, back and forth. They trading their little bullshit.
Right.
Is this a fight that you go back and forth with? Like, is this the fight that you could possibly change your mind from week to week and in camp, looking at how they look in camp and whatnot? Like, what's your mindset heading into such a big fight?
Yeah, my mind does go back and forth. I'm gonna tell you why. Because Teo, what I do is I remove all the negative about what we know about Teo. I remove all of that, and then I look at the fighter. That still is a good fighter. You know what I mean? Strong, fast, you know what I mean? Explosive, unpredictable, and he can hurt you. And every time he's had to step up, he really did step up. You know what I mean? But besides the Cambodia fight, but he stepped up. So I think Shakur. Yeah, my first mind told me Shakur, and I thought about it. Yeah, I'm picking Shakur by decision, but because this is fighting, anything can happen. You can't count Teo out. So there is thoughts sometimes that cross my brain, like, damn, what if Teo catch him like real good though? You know what I mean? And hurt him, or what if he just out hustling? You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's a lot of shit that crossed my mind, but I still like Shakur for the dub. I like Shakur for the dub because he knows how to win. Like, he knows how to win.
Greg Hackett, widely respected as one of boxing's most insightful voices, didn't hold back when breaking down this potential war between Teofimo Lopez and Shakur Stevenson. His message to Teofimo is simple. If you charge forward carelessly and leave an opening, Stevenson's defensive mastery will make you pay dearly. Hackett's analysis suggests that Teofimo's naturally aggressive approach might be exactly what Shakur wants to see. It could create perfect opportunities for devastating counterattacks and total ring control.
You know what I'm saying? So, in a sense where Teo like to jump, you gotta stop that jumping. You know what I mean? Take smaller steps, inch in behind smaller jabs, smaller right hands. Be a little bit more quicker. And you know, try to keep it at a minimum of like 4 punches. You know what I mean? 4, 5, 6 punches. You know what I mean? Not just one good punch. Cause once you miss, you know, Shakur gonna light you the up. He gonna light you after that. You miss one good shot. You throw one good shot, he catch you loading, and he see it and he get away from it, and he gonna touch you like 3, 4 times after that. You know what I mean? So you gotta match Shakur energy with the punch output, but at the same time you gotta be vicious that night. They give out warnings for a reason. Use them.
Meanwhile, Teofimo Lopez is plotting something deeper than just physical domination against Shakur Stevenson. He's zeroing in on the mental warfare aspect of this fight. Lopez admits that Stevenson's defensive skills are practically untouchable. but he thinks cracking his psychological armor might unlock the path to victory. This strategy reveals the chess match element of elite boxing, where mental toughness and composure under fire can matter just as much as pure athletic ability.
You just said, though, you said that you ready to pull an upset. So you acknowledging that Shakur is the better fighter?
Never.
No.
You just said that. You said the upset.
Well, I say the odds are probably has him ahead.
No, yeah, it's just the odds. They got him as the favorite.
Oh,
right
got you,
now.
got you,
Yeah,
got
the
you, got
odds
you,
I
got
think
you.
is like 3-1 right now.
Okay.
So that's all.
All right.
I'm kind of used to being in that position. So I'm just here to reclaim them and redefend them.
So with that upset, like, what do you plan to like exploit about Shakur in the ring?
That is, defense is not as impeccable as people mention it.
Nah, it's impeccable. It's pretty elite. Come on, Teofimo. It's pretty elite.
Lopez's game plan demonstrates serious boxing intelligence, recognizing that championship-level fights are often won and lost in the mind. By targeting Stevenson's mental state, Lopez is making it clear that this war will be fought with brains and timing just as much as fists. When you're dealing with fighters this skilled, whoever handles the pressure, stress, and mind games the best usually walks away with the win.
Well, that's what I say. Like,
what is his weakness, though, if there's one?
his mind. Once you penetrate the mind, that's it. It's game. This is boxing. This has always been since forever. And if your mind ain't strong in this, it's never gonna...
Eddie Hearn stepped into the conversation with his own warning shot aimed at Teofimo Lopez. He's convinced that Shakur Stevenson belongs in the pound-for-pound elite conversation, and those training sessions with Terrence Crawford have refined him into something special. Hearn emphasizes Shakur's ring intelligence and technical perfection as the advantages that put him ahead of Lopez. When these two collide on January 31st, Hearn believes Stevenson could put on a complete clinic. He's arguing that Shakur has transformed into genuine elite territory and will create serious problems with every single weapon in his arsenal.
I don't know how good the fight will be, but I think Shakur is, again, like pound for pound, IQ-wise, I think he's even up there with a Terrence and those kind of guys, you know. I think the difference with Boots is he's got the defensive mastercraft and he also has the aggressive power to turn your lights out, and I think that's quite different. Do you know what I mean? Like Shakur, I say defensive. I think that's a bit harsh on Shakur, but he's not a huge puncher, but defensively and skill-wise, he's right up there.
He's a real technical fighter.
Oh, phenomenal. The difference with Boots is skill-wise, he's got that, but he can also, like I said, he can turn your lights out.
Eddie Hearn also acknowledges that Teofimo Lopez has consistently shown up when facing big challenges, instead of shrinking from them. He gives Lopez full credit as an outstanding fighter. But when it comes to pure skill level, Hearn doesn't think he measures up to what Shakur Stevenson brings. He admits that much depends on which version of Teofimo appears and how he handles the opening rounds. But there's no doubt in his mind that Stevenson enters this fight as the favorite.
And you'll see that more and more as he goes up the division. So, like, you look at fighters like Pernell Whitaker and stuff like that, what they lacked was that little bit of power and that aggressiveness that I think Boots has. I think the jury's still out a little bit on Teofimo. I don't know what you guys think. I mean, you have to respect him because he beat Loma, you know, but I don't know.
He's an excellent fighter.
He's an excellent fighter. Yeah, he's an excellent fighter, but
he didn't cut the ring off from Barboza.
You know, a lot of people give Shakur the edge in that fight. But do you think it depends on what Teofimo shows up?
Yeah, it always depends on what Teofimo shows up.
Buddy McGurt delivered his take on the Teofimo Lopez versus Shakur Stevenson showdown, declaring that Stevenson stands above everyone else in this entire weight class. While he shows respect for Lopez and recognizes his ability to handle elite opposition like Lomachenko, McGurt is convinced that Shakur operates on a completely different level. His prediction is straightforward. Stevenson will take command from the opening bell and maintain that dominance for every single minute of this championship fight.
Oh, Shakur, definitely.
Why is that?
He's the best at that weight. No one's going to beat him at that weight. You know, he can go up to 47 and win a title. That's how good he is.
I mean,
it's going to be a good fight. I'm glad it's finally happening, you know, a good fight in boxing where you got two very skilled fighters. And look, I love Teofimo. You know, I picked him to beat Lomachenko. You know what I mean? But I just think that Shakur's on another level.
Is Teofimo the more athletic fighter?
I'm not gonna say that. I mean, to me, they have two different styles. You know what I mean? And Shakur just has a style that, to appreciate it, you got to be a real boxing person.
Yeah, because when I say athleticism, it's like explosiveness and twitch. But isn't Shakur with the timing and the distance? It's more subtle.
Relax. You know what I mean? He can do whatever. He can take control at any time when he wants to.
Buddy McGurt thinks Teofimo Lopez will need to be absolutely brilliant strategically if he wants any chance of beating Shakur Stevenson. He also shared that he's been following Stevenson since his amateur career and has always recognized how truly exceptional his abilities are. Those skills will prove superior to Lopez's physical gifts, McGurt believes. Whether this fight goes the distance or ends early, he's completely certain that Stevenson will emerge victorious.
I saw him as a kid. I remember Shakur as a kid when he was an amateur. And I always tell him, kid, he's just special, man. He's special.
What's Tio, if he can pull it, like if you were his trainer, what would be the game plan you think to try to pull off what would be an upset?
You gotta be double smart. You can't go in there and think you're gonna bully him. You can't think you're gonna go in there and bomb him out. You gotta be extra smart. Because Shakur's on point, man. You gotta be just as on point as he is. And that takes a different level of concentration.
Unanimous decision then for Shakur?
I don't know, man. I don't know, but I see him winning. I see Shakur winning, definitely.
While Tim Bradley expressed doubts about Shakur, someone else who has actually watched Teofimo Lopez in sparring sessions sees things differently. Keith Conlon has observed Lopez up close, and his insights might actually favor Stevenson. He expects a competitive battle, with both fighters bringing everything they have, but he believes that as the fight progresses into later rounds, Stevenson's discipline and skill will become the difference makers that secure him the victory.
I feel like now, I've been in the ring when I was like 16. It's been a little while. Yeah. And, I'm sure he's a total different fighter, but I have recently seen Teofimo spar, like a couple years back. He sparred one of the guys from my gym. And, I think it's safe to say that it's going to be a competitive fight. It's definitely going to be a competitive fight. Shakur going to be on his game. Teo going to be on his game. Shakur going to get his hits off. Teo going to get his hits off. I feel like in the later rounds, I feel like Shakur is going to be, he's going to pull away with the victory.
From what he's witnessed watching Teofimo Lopez spar, Conlon has picked up on some concerning patterns. Lopez tends to lose focus and discipline as sessions go on. Shakur Stevenson, on the other hand, maintains that championship-level concentration for the full 12 rounds without wavering. That mental consistency will be what separates these fighters when everything is on the line, and he's backing Stevenson to capitalize on that advantage.
Just based off being disciplined. At this level, they both skill for skill, they both got skills. You can't take that away from them. But at this level, it's all about, the small details. Who's disciplined, who's able to focus throughout the whole, fight. And just based off of, they past fights, you kind of see Teo sometimes like discipline, but Shakur, he could stay locked in for the 12 rounds. He could stick to his game plan for the 12 rounds. And I feel like that's what's going to separate the winner from the loser. And I feel like Shakur going to be victorious.
Following Tim Bradley's concerns about Shakur Stevenson's preparation, analyst Akoy offered his own breakdown of the upcoming clash with Teofimo Lopez. His warning is serious. This fight goes beyond style matchups, and simply boxing intelligently won't get the job done. In his brutally direct analysis, Akoy explains that Stevenson must take control and genuinely hurt the dangerous Lopez to guarantee a clear victory, steering clear of the dangerous territory of leaving it in the judge's hands.
Depending on who dominates their portion of the fight, that's how that fight will go. I don't think it's going to end in a knockout. I think it's going to go 12 rounds for sure. But it depends on how the first 6 rounds goes, you know what I mean? Because I don't think that Shakur is going to come out and try to fight or take the fight to Teo in the first 6 rounds at all. So if he's fighting off the back foot, if Teo can make it so that he's convincingly, or he's convinced at least Shakur that he may have won
4 of the first 6 rounds. You know, if it's 4-2 in Shakur's mind going into the second half of the fight, or if I'm looking at him stealing those first 6 rounds, then it's an interesting fight going into the tail end, because Teo, to me, is a front runner.
Expanding on Tim Bradley's critique, Okoye insists that Shakur Stevenson must bring the pressure from round 1. He explains that if Teofimo Lopez can't establish his rhythm early, his conditioning typically starts failing around the middle rounds, which would hand Shakur the perfect opportunity to seize control. Okoye also stresses that Stevenson needs to deliver a performance that surpasses anything we've seen from him before. While acknowledging that he's handled every opponent so far, this challenge demands absolute excellence.
If I'm looking at the first 3 rounds, first 4 rounds, and Teo looks like he's losing those rounds convincingly, then it's an easy night for Shakur, unanimous decision in my opinion. You know what I mean? Because I don't think Teo is going to bring anything late in the game, you know what I mean, to this fight. I think if he is who he's always been, you know, he's going to get gassed after like the 7th round and then take some rounds off. And when he does that, Shakur will open up and start to try to pick him apart, pot shot him, and do things like that. But this is the perfect fight, narrative-wise, for Shakur, because I've been waiting for Shakur to get into that fight where, you know, he doesn't have the fight where, he doesn't have his Diego Corrales fight, you know what I mean, where you think he's actually in danger. Shakur has been he's been outclassing everybody he's in the ring with.
This is where we stand right now. This battle is building into one of the year's most explosive encounters, and with Shakur Stevenson revolutionizing his preparation, while Teofimo Lopez brings that dangerous intensity, January 31st promises to be absolutely electric. Which fighter gets your vote? Will Stevenson's technical mastery and discipline carry him to victory? Or does Lopez have what it takes to flip the script with his devastating power? Share your thoughts below, hit that like button if you're excited, and make sure you're subscribed for complete coverage as we count down to Fight Night.